Everyone, my name is Patrick Riddenhauer. I'm the Chief of Police here in the city of Danbury. Do you need me to spell?
Yes, please.
Okay. R-I, D as in David, E as in November, H-O-U-R. I will just reiterate the statement that we put out a little while ago to the media outlets, and then I'll do a little follow-up information, and then I'll take any questions that you may have. At approximately 7:02 p.m., the Danbury Police Dispatch received a report of shots fired at the Danbury Fair Mall near Macy's. Upon arrival, officers found a 16-year-old female suffering from a gunshot wound to her upper chest area. She was alert and conscious at the scene. The mall was immediately placed in lockdown. It is unknown at this time how many suspects are involved, but I will update that. Police officers went inside to systematically clear the building. The victim was taken by ambulance to Danbury Hospital. Her condition is unknown at this time, and her identity is being held. This is believed to be an isolated incident, but it's still under investigation. The update we have is that there were at least 8 people involved in some type of altercation with another group near Macy's. One person brandished a handgun and fired at least one round, which struck the 16-year-old female. It appears that she was not the target, but inadvertently got in the way. We have video confirmation that the suspects left the building, but at this time we have not been able to identify them, so they are still at large. Currently, officers with assistance from several area police departments and the Connecticut State Police and the Putnam County Sheriff's Office out of New York are assisting us in clearing patrons from the building. We are doing debriefing with them, and if we get any additional information, we will pass it on as soon as possible.
And Chief, do you know, did this happen inside the Macy's, right outside the Macy's?
Right outside the Macy's, the entrance inside the mall.
And we also heard that the 16-year-old girl was diabetic. Is that true?
I don't have any information on her, any medical conditions or her condition from the gunshot wound at this time.
And is anyone in custody at this time?
No.
And was she with this group, or is she just completely innocent?
It appears that she was innocent. It appears that there was another target. We do have some information that a male was running from the scene carrying a hammer. We believe he may have been the target, but she got in the way.
Do you have a car that they took off in, possibly?
No, we do not have a description. The video is not as clear as we would like it to be, but we are working with our state and local and state and federal partners to hopefully get that video enhanced so that we can get more information for
And
you.
the other 8
for
people?
members of both groups?
Right now, we're looking for the shooter, and if we can identify others that are involved that can help us locate the shooter and bring him to justice, we will.
So you think there's one primary suspect then?
There's one shooter, yes.
Same age, around the same age? All
We
these
have
people?
no idea at this time.
Do you know how many shots were fired?
It appears at least 1, possibly 2.
And was she conscious when you arrived? Did she say anything?
She was conscious and alert, and detectives are trying to talk to her to get more information.
What are the extent of her injuries?
We don't know at this time.
Does she work here?
That I don't know at this time.
Any relation to recent shootings in Danbury?
Not that we believe at this time.
Was there any other injuries with all the people in the mall trying to get out very quickly?
None have been reported at this time.
Still on lockdown inside?
No, we're clearing the building now, and obviously the mall is closed at this time, so it's the mall's decision as to whether or not they're going to go back to normal business tomorrow.
Do you know if anybody's still left in the mall? Any workers, any civilians?
There are workers and civilians left in the mall, and they are being cleared by the officers. Obviously, when they went into lockdown, they're not going to open up the stores until they see the police. So we have several officers inside clearing them. They've been outstanding. The patrons have been outstanding and very patient, and we're going to try to get them out as soon as possible so that they can go home.
Any other injuries?
Not that we're aware of.
You said one of the people had a hammer?
That's what we're being told at this time, that one person was running from the scene with a hammer in hand. So that person may have been the target of the shots fired, and it appears that the female may have been innocent and gotten away. But we're not 100% sure at this
Any
time.
indication he used that hammer to attack somebody?
Don't know at this time.
Which
Do you know
exit
which
did he
way
go
these
out?
guys left the building? They leave the Macy's, they leave the other side of the building?
That information I don't have. I'm not sure if it's available at this time.
I think they're still reviewing the view.
Okay, yeah.
I heard that the suspect might have been up somehow in the ceiling. Some people heard some noises up there.
We have no confirmation of that.
How soon after the shooting do you think he escaped?
Looking at the what we're told with the video, I mean, our investigators are looking at the video. It was probably, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 minutes after, if that long. You know, it was pretty quickly after the scene, but it took a while to get through the video, which is why we always assume that they're still in the building, which is why officers went in immediately to ensure the safety of everyone else. And it took a while, probably, I know I had been here for quite some time before we got some confirmation that the suspects had left the building, and that's when we transitioned to getting the patrons out of the building safely so that they can go home. It's been a very trying day for all of them as well.
And Chief, do you have a description of the people that were involved?
No, we do not at this time.
Description of the person with the hammer?
No, just that it was a white male. That's all.
A white male.
That's all we have at this time.
And how long is the mall going to stay closed?
That's up to the mall management. We have been in contact with mall management and mall security, and that will be entirely up to them as to when they're going to reopen. Obviously, they're closed for the night, and then we'll work from there.
And how do you feel the employees inside handled this?
I think overall, everyone was great. You know, under the circumstances, it's very trying circumstances. I've been in a similar situation, being off duty and being at a mall, so I can feel for them, and I think overall they did very well in cooperating with the police and finding safety during the lockdown. So I would give them a high grade. Hopefully they'll never have to go through something like this again, and we are confident that we will get all of the information that we need to identify the shooter and bring him to justice.
When was the last time a situation like this happened in Danbury Mall for it to be in lockdown?
Nothing in my memory. Nothing recent. Okay.
And you believe this is an isolated incident?
We do at this time believe that it's an isolated incident. If there's any information that changes, we will let you know.
How many individuals did you say were involved in this?
There were at least 8 people involved with another group. I don't know how many people were involved in the other group, and it was just an altercation that spilled over.
Should residents in the area lock their doors, be on the lookout for anything?
Well, we always encourage residents to lock their doors and to lock their vehicles. So we believe this was an isolated incident, so we don't believe that anyone in the area is a target for anything. We do believe that they left in a vehicle, so they're probably not in the area at this time. But we always encourage residents to lock doors, lock vehicles, do everything that they can to keep themselves safe.
Any of the suspects known to you? Records, drugs?
We don't know the identity of the suspects at this time, so we wouldn't have that information. As soon as we can identify the suspects, and we're confident that we will, we'll be able to get more information on them.
Was the weapon recovered?
No.
You said there were 2 groups of people. What do you mean by 2 groups?
There was just people that seemed to be involved in some sort of altercation that turned into a shooting.
So the victim was part of one of the 2 groups?
We do not believe so. We do not believe so. We believe that the victim was an innocent bystander who just got caught in the way. But we're still investigating, and if anything changes, you'll probably get an update in the morning.
Thanks, Chief.
All right, Chief,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great day.